Toronto is just in my heart. My name is Dan Lyons, and I currently live in Kitchener, Ontario. I first moved here, I believe it was last August, and that was before COVID and everything. So it was easy for us to move here, but it was from Toronto. What made me move to Kitchener was essentially school, and also that living in Toronto wasn't very financially stable. So my girlfriend and I eventually had to move in with her parents for a bit, and then we eventually got our own place. So we moved because of the cost. I'm happy to be away from the cost of everything. Like, it was so expensive just to exist there. It felt like every paycheck I got was just rent and utilities, food, that's it. And it was just a weird way of living. Yeesh. Rent prices in Toronto. Wow. Okay. It definitely varied on if you were close to subway lines or if you were in the core of downtown. But on the outskirts, places like Etobicoke, and mainly Etobicoke and North York, those places were a bit cheaper. So we lived in Etobicoke, which was right by Humber College's campus in Toronto. And that was around $1,700 a month. Here it's $500 less. So I would say that's a win. When I came here, I looked for a job and it was much easier to find one. That's another thing. A lot easier to find a job here. It's a lot more quieter, I find. Toronto was always very bustling and everything, which I love, but sometimes you just want a rest from it. And I think Kitchener provided me with that. Having a car in Toronto, if you live downtown or close to downtown, there's no point. There are a few people that will complain about the TTC and whatever, but for the most part, it's the quickest mode of transportation to get around Toronto, versus driving. TTC was honestly pretty stable, pretty good. You could get somewhere, it would take you normally in Brampton, probably an hour to get to. It would take you 20 minutes to get to in Toronto, the same distance kind of thing. Definitely. I would most definitely move back to Toronto after living here. I miss everything about Toronto. Obviously, I don't miss the expensive stuff and just general big populated city stuff. But I do miss sense of community and also just going out and seeing other people that look like me. Because here I don't really get that. So it's kind of lonely, but in Toronto, I never really felt alone in Toronto, essentially.